Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews.
Madstone is a two-player card battling game system. And this one is very interesting in some of the decisions that you're going to make. Each player is going to take a faction, line up their people, and kind of battle it out through the hand management and card play that you're going to have. What's particularly interesting is the cost of the cards, the cards that you have. So you give up cards, but you don't just discard them. Those cards are now available to your opponent, kind of like Anatomy a little bit in that respect about how you can play a card, but those cards are now available as you're battling through the system. This is normally a genre of games that I don't enjoy, although I have to admit that this is one of my favorite ones. A little bit deeper than Anatomy, and I prefer that deepness a little bit. That one is great in simplicity, but I think this one really shines in the extra layers of that onion that it's unveiling to you as you're going through the gameplay. We had a really good blast with this. I never felt like it was luck-based or luck-infused or my guys were eliminated because of something out of my control. I felt like those are decisions that people are making inside the battling system, and I do appreciate that as we're going through. There's always a time and a place for sillier games, but I feel like this one takes the subject matter a little bit more seriously, and I really did appreciate that as I'm playing through. Even though I'm not into this genre, it's not something I would normally track down, I'm glad I did play Madstone and added it to my collection as a keeper. Madstone 2nd Edition, Become a Legendary Commander. It's going to come in kind of a long box. I don't find this thing to be the easiest thing to open up. When you get it opened up, you're going to find a rule book, which we'll take a look at in a few minutes. You're going to get a deck of cards. These will be the cards that will be in the center. Each player will get a commander card, and then there'll be a deck of cards that you'll utilize throughout the game to play through. They have a pretty nice feel. They got kind of almost that flying frog feel. And I also feel like that mine are off-center. I don't know if everybody's is like that. Some of these are not. And then look at this one. Like, the border's definitely not equal in that one. Gonna get a little token of these crossbones. They're fine. A little bit thin, but they'll be sufficient. And these gems. This is, you have red and yellow ones. This is really gonna steal this show. These look and feel fantastic. I really like these components. Little plastic gems. That's what you're gonna get in the box. Everything is fairly good. It's it's a 2nd edition. I would have liked this printing to be a little bit better. But I do like the artwork involved. I guess it's got an old, kind of like D&D look to it. I don't know, old 60s, 70s fantasy. So you're going to get a little small rule book. I have the components here with pictures on the front. The font is very, very small. You're going to get set up over here with a little bit of a picture over here that will kind of give you, and there's examples, etc. as you go through. At first, I didn't like this organization, but after a while, it really clicked for me. And I understand why they went with this direction. You're going to have an explanation of powers and the swords and kind of what some of the icons will do. And the darkness falls here with an example and a picture attached to it. There aren't a lot of rules of this. It's a fairly simple game to understand and be able to play through. A little bit of a reference sheet on the back. You probably need 15 minutes to read through this. You'll be up and playing. And we really didn't have a lot of questions when we were playing it at all. Great job with the rule book. Just the font could have been a little bit bigger. So you're going to put these cards in the front, and this will just be like a holder for them. And each player will take the commander, which will be exactly the same. They'll have 2 power and the same 3 actions. So what you'll do is you'll place that down in front of you to kind of lead your army. So on a turn, what you're going to do is you're going to have, as the game progresses, you'll have cards in front of you. When you have the cards in front of you, you will be able to activate the powers that are on them. So for a red gem, cancel 1 triggered effect, may be done on other players' turn, may be done multiple times. This one says gain additional red crystals when playing a card to the field equal to nature energy. So you'll be able to utilize these. That's the first thing you do on a turn is utilize your cards. Then you'll be able to take an action, 2 of the 3 actions on here. You can do the same one more than once. So one action you can do is you can simply play a card to the center, kind of like Lost Cities, and gain the number of crystals that are on there. So I just place this here. It would be 6, and then my opponent could play that if they wanted to. Another possible action is to attack something up there, and when you do, you just have to make sure that your power is enough that you can do so, and you would purchase it, and then it could either go into your victory point pile and score the victory points that are listed, or you can add it to your tableau and have more powers. That's going to be the main decision you're going to make during the game. The third possible action, let's say you had 1 card in your hand, you can draw back up to 3, and that would be a possible action. This is going to continue until the draw deck is empty. Once the draw deck is empty, whoever has the most cards in their victory point pile, you count out the number of victory points, and whoever has the most points is the winner of the game. Very simple game to play, but it's very tactical in the decision that you're making. Which one do you want? Now, each of these cards will give you power, and that will increase the number of crystals that you can pay or gain in a turn, the health in order to do so, etc., and their defenses and the powers will determine whether you want to keep it for its abilities, or if you just want to go ahead when you gain it and pop it in the victory point pile. It won't do anything good for you for the rest of the game other than score points at the end. And that's a quick overview of Madstone. Who should buy this game? Anybody looking for a 2-player battling system. It has direct player interaction and combat as you're literally attacking the other player in order to eliminate his cards. It does have a unique system where the cards I discard to play cards are now available to my opponent, and that really makes this game. That's really the little twig that's holding it all together, and it's a brilliant design decision. So in that regard, this game is a keeper for us.